Hello, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. In this video, I'm working on a traveler's notebook layout titled Sunflowers, and I'm using the paper pack Follow the Sun from Craft Sensation, and I'm also using one of my freebie sketches that you can find as fully functional silhouette files on my website, MistyHilltops.com. I'll be scrapping with 5 photos, I think. So I don't think I've ever scrapped with more photos than this. For this one, I actually used my silhouette and created this frame that will come with a sketch if you want to download that as a freebie on my blog. And so what I'm doing now, I start by just gluing the photos on the frame. And my photos are about the size of 2 by 2. The little squares there are 2 by 2 inches, and the frame is designed to fit that perfectly. The way I print my photos, there's a video that you can find here on my channel that explains it, and it always works fine, that the sizes work exactly the way that I need my photos to be. Anyway. And one more thing to say to that is when I print my photos, I use an A4 paper, and I use the space very well. Now this frame, I also added a frame to the sketch when it becomes available, but this frame I just simply cut with, I have a die cut that fits a 3 by 3 inch photo. It's just perfect for that. So that works for me as well. But if you download the sketch, then you will have a frame that goes along with that from the Silhouette software. So I cut a whole bunch of little flowers from yellow cardstock, and now what I'm doing is I'm bending each petal to give this some dimension. And I think this will take quite a while, so I think what I will do is skip ahead until I'm done with this part. What I do with these flowers though is I put my thumbnail in the center, about the center of each petal, and then I just bend the 2 sides of the petal around my thumbnail, and so that's how I shape each of the petals. So anyway, I skipped ahead and I'm done now with all the pieces, and now I'm just gluing them together, and I make sure that I offset each petal so that the dimension is preserved. So I have 2 flowers that way, and then I have a little brown just a die cut that goes in the center of the flower. I have nicer ways to give it real more dimension, but this is going to be a dimensional page as it is, and any more dimension is just too much in a traveler's notebook type layout, and so I try to keep the dimensions as flat as I can. Now I decided that I will go with some stamp, a sunflower stamp on the background of my page, and so I'm preparing that right now, and just in case I will be going off page, and I have about an idea how large the frame, and I want it to be tucked under the picture frame or the paper, and so I put the ruler there to let me know where I need to go. Now I realized, oh no, there's a part of the flower that didn't really stamp, but then I realized I have planned to cover most of it anyway with embellishments and all that, and so it's not a big deal. Again, I'm using my ruler for this side to do the other stamp, and that worked fine. I think the problem was the back side of the page already has a design, and so that shows that just made the page uneven, and it wasn't able to catch the full page and the full stamp. But again, it's not a big deal because I will be able to cover up that mistake with my pattern papers and other embellishments with no trouble. It was already designed, my design was going that way, so the way I designed the page, so it's not a big deal at all. So this comes with beautiful pattern papers. It's Follow the Sun by Craft Sensations, and I just love the sunflower papers there, although I think in the end it kind of gets my page very, very busy because these photos are super busy. My mom has a garden. This book is for her. It records all the things she does in her garden, and so she sends me the photos. And for last Christmas I sent her a whole pack of different seeds, and it had these sunflowers, and we thought they sounded like they would be small flowers, but we thought she would get some that are, it says for balcony or the home on the package, but these flowers, they are like trees. The stem is so thick it goes like trees. And so my mom was super happy, and she's like, I don't want to cut the flowers because they're so pretty in the garden, and I spend more time outside than I spend inside. So anyway, I have started to arrange everything and started to glue things down, and I have to make sure that this design goes across 2 pages. And so as I glue things down, I have to make sure these 2 pages align perfectly before I glue them down, because otherwise things will get messy when I try to actually put it in the ring binding that I have planned for this notebook. And then I am arranging each of the parts and putting them on the page there. And I am frugal with the paper that I use. You see that kind of that plaid design. I didn't have it go all the way down the page because I knew it would be covered. All the rest would be covered. That's the beauty when you design a page on Silhouette and you can see what happens with the papers, and then you realize I don't need to cut that part because it's not going to be shown, so I can save myself the paper, use it for other projects, and still have a beautiful design. So now I'm not too happy with that stamping mistakes, and I'm still figuring out what exactly to do there, where to put the flower. I originally planned to put the flower in that corner where the top, in the cluster where the 3 photos touch the 1 photo on top in that corner, but then I decided it would go here, and I think in the end I actually like it more this way. It works better and it doesn't cover up the papers there. So I had this little extra piece. It was supposed to be the brown stuff from the center of the sunflower, and I cut it out as a yellow and then cut it apart and then use it as just another flower embellishment. Now in hindsight, I think I would put them not in a straight line top to bottom. I would put them a little more offset from each other for interest, but it doesn't really matter. I think in the end it doesn't even you don't even notice much of the bottom flower there, because the sunflower paper on the bottom is just so busy with a page. So you see I put the pictures, the series of the 3 pictures down at an angle, and then I'm also planning on putting the bigger square at an angle. So there will be some part of it that I'll be cutting off, but I don't mind cutting off parts of the photos and the frames. I just make sure that it's not going to show like a tiny strip of the frame. I make sure that enough of the frame is cut off that side of the frame is not working. Now here I'm struggling to get some of the thread. I want to use some thread to wrap up and just put somewhere, tuck it underneath a photo or something. I think it always looks pretty, but I'm really struggling to get I haven't used this thread before, and I'm really struggling to get the start of it to come out. I may have to skip if it doesn't come quickly. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm just wrapping it up and tucking it underneath somewhere, because I think just gives a nice little extra. And I don't bother with gluing it down so much. I know once I put the photo down, that'll hold that thread in place. And then come the word strips. I created some word strips that you can find on my blog, mistyhilltops.com, as freebies. You can easily just print them on cardstock and then cut them out with your trimmer. And then they'll be a great addition. I have German and I have English versions of some garden word art. And you're most welcome to hop on over to my blog there and pick them up in the freebies section there. So here comes the title, and I have this beautiful script die cut set that I love, and I keep reusing. I have to turn around that O is the wrong way, but I think when I glue things down, it'll be all right. And even the one letter there is in the wrong place, but I'm pretty sure I noticed the mistake and I put things in the right place before I glue them down. So anyway, I love working with die cut alphas because they give me all the versatility where I can use papers. And I think here's where I notice, nope, that's not going there. First this one. So anyway, I like to use those die cut alphas because they give me ways that I can use them with watercolor. I do that a lot, or with just solid paper. I've used pattern papers, so they just give you a lot of different options. They're not as practical as letters that already have stickers or sticking, but I don't mind. My glue dries fast and I can rub it off my fingers in just a second, and so this glue really helps me to not make things really messy on my pages. I was really struggling where to put this title. It's a little big for my liking, but I just didn't have I didn't want to use another way. So here I noticed that the O is in the wrong way, and then all mistakes have been solved. So here goes that title, and I am now taking care of that last little cluster there with the leaves. That photo needs to be glued down, and then I'm still deciding what to do. I want to put a little string on this page, and so I am tying 2 bows, and then deciding how long that string needs to be. So this is what actually really gets my page a little bulky, and then I realized that it's too short, and so I wanted to put the 2 bows more further apart, and that's that. And so I glue that down. And then I think that's where I decide to then finally put that flower down in that place. I think it does compete a lot with the sunflower in the photo. In hindsight, I think I would use a smaller flower there for embellishments, but overall I think it's still a pretty page. Anyway, now I need to cut apart the 2 pages there, and then you see that those frames, those pictures that go over the edge on the one side, I also need to cut that out. So I think that's my my page. Oh, there needs to go that string, and I could use hot glue, but this glue works well enough. It keeps things down, and so I'm deciding where exactly to put that little string, and then where to put the word strips, and then I think that's that page done. So I like working with these word strips. Anyway, this is it for today. I will leave you with some more close-ups, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.